So people are telling me that we're either in a recession or we're just about to hit one. But one thing is for sure, food prices have gone wild. Some of the foods that I've bought or eaten in my home have went up substantially, sometimes even doubled. And that made me want to find ways that I could eat a little bit cheaper, especially right now. I work in the film industry and we've had a pretty tough year with strikes and whatnot. In Canada, especially, we get very cold winters and everything kind of slows down quite a bit. So it's important to batten down the hatches and save money where you can. Because food is one of the largest expenses for most people, that's somewhere where I decided to cut first. Today, I'm going to show you a breakfast which I've been eating almost every day for the past month, and it is frugal, pretty well inflation proof, and also good for you. So this simple breakfast is oatmeal with stewed fruit and seeds. All you need for this breakfast is some type of oats. For the fruit, I'm using apples. Now I have small apples, so I'm using 3, and that's even then still a bit excessive, so you could probably get away with 1 to 2 depending on what size of apples you have. I'm also using cinnamon, cornstarch, some type of sweetener. For me, it's maple syrup. And for the seeds that I'm using today, it's chia seeds, but it could be any type of seed. In the past, I've used pumpkin seeds, flax seed, hemp. It's really just whatever you have around. Sometimes produce like apples can be quite expensive. I shop at a grocery store in Canada called No Frills. In there, they sell a variety of produce called naturally imperfect. This is produce that wouldn't typically have matched the grocery store's beauty standards and is being sold in bulk quantities for a much reduced price. I buy the apples that I use for this recipe in this way. I get about 18 apples. It's around 6 pounds of small apples. Adding the oatmeal, the seeds, the spices, and the sweeteners, this meal is easily under $2 per serving. So now without further ado, let's go to the kitchen and get cooking. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to boil some water. This is going to come in handy at various parts of the dish, and it's also going to make my coffee. So while the water is boiling, I'm going to start chopping my apples. I choose to just do them in slices. It doesn't really matter how you cut them up because they're going to cook down quite a bit. I choose to leave the skins on them for the extra nutrition and fiber. Once the water is boiled, I pour it on my oats inside of the bowl that I'm going to be eating out of. Because I'm using rolled oats rather than steel cut, boiling water is fine to cook them, so I just pour it into the bowl, cover them while I prepare the rest of the meal, and when I come back, they'll be ready to go. Next, I'm going to put some of the boiling water into a pot, and I'm going to bring that to a rolling boil as well. Once that's going, I'm going to add my apples, and then I'm going to add a bit more boiling water on top of that. At this stage, I'm going to add my sweetener, and I'm just going to put some maple syrup to give it that little Canadian flavor. I'm also going to add cinnamon, which makes it taste a little bit more like apple pie, so no complaints there. After stirring it and letting it cook for a little bit, I'm then going to add some cornstarch just to thicken it up. You can mix the cornstarch in water first before adding it if you want to reduce clumps, but for me, I don't really care. After 5 or 10 minutes of cooking at medium to high heat, the apples will be nice and hot and also still maintain a bit of their shape. You can remove them from the heat now. Now it's time to uncover the oats and then add the apples. Top off with my chia seeds. Don't forget the spoon, and you have a healthy, frugal, and inflation-proof breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I'm going to enjoy eating this food. What kind of things have you guys been doing to cut down on your grocery costs while also being able to remain relatively healthy? I'd be happy to hear any tips in the comments section. Thanks very much for watching, and I'm about to dive on into this food.
Dive on in.
See you in the next video.